let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bleaves Crypto Show. My name is Bleaves. We're here to talk about this crazy crypto world. And not only are we here to talk about this crazy crypto world, but we also have a giveaway for you today. This is going to be a surprise random giveaway, and it is going to be based upon Dev. We're giving away $50 in Dev today. So if you have not already, make sure that you hit the like button on the way in. And yeah, so we got a question today, and that question will be asked in just a few moments. All right, guys, make sure you hit that like button on the way in, and yeah, let's get after it. So if you haven't already, if you haven't been paying attention to what's going on, we had the largest dip in the history of cryptocurrency just a few short days ago on a Friday. We broke this down for you. I gave you all of the details that you needed to know about so that you understood exactly what was going on. Now, beyond that, let me see if that works. Oh, son of a bitch. Beyond that, we are we're watching the market, waiting for, haven't gotten that big reversal. And the question to that is going to be why? And I think the answer here is going to be very, very simple. Wintermute, which was the predominant entity that dumped on the market, started reaccumulating again, and they reaccumulated off of the dip, but they didn't reaccumulate nearly as much as they sold off. They took a giant profit in the last couple of days. I mean, listen, if you sell off 3 billion and you buy back 1 billion, you profited 2 billion, and $2 billion exited the market until somebody else buys in. Now, that in itself gives you an idea that maybe we're going bearish or something like that. Oh, no, my friend. I don't think that that's the case either, because guess what? After just a few short days, after just a short period of time, the Bitcoin ETF is already back in the positive. We only had 2 outflow days, and yesterday we had inflows totaling $102 million. I want you to just take a look here. It only took a few days, right? Just only took a few days. We had the sell-off, then we had the response, and those were not even gigantic sell-offs, okay? We had one day where we had that 300 million in sell-off, but we had 875 million the day before, 440 million, 200 million the day before, 985, 627. So we have tons of money coming back into this market. Bitcoin is not done yet. Anybody who's telling you that they're bearish and that we're screwed or that it's over, they are not thinking clearly, they are not thinking appropriately, and they are going to get you wrecked. So be very careful when listening to a bunch of dum-dums about what's going to happen next in this market. By the way, I am also a dum-dum, so I don't know what I'm talking about either, but at least I'm honest about it. I think that the market is going to continue to soar, that we're going to continue to see positive movement. When we look at the Ethereum ETF, we see the same thing. Yesterday, capital inflows, $236 million. Do you understand what buy the dip means? Because that's exactly what just happened. Everybody bought the dip, and they bought it up crazy. Okay, they bought it up crazy. And are we back to where we were before? Not exactly. Are we getting there? Well, the charts are indicating that we're not yet, but on the positive side, let's start looking around at the positives. Number one, yesterday, after the crazy dump, yesterday, Binance airdropped 45 million in BNB to meme coin traders that were hit by the market crash. Compensation plan marks the Binance ecosystem's biggest user relief effort yet, following the crypto market wipeout of $20 billion. So 45 million reload airdrop happening right now. According to Binance's founder, CZ Binance, rewards will be allocated randomly. Ecosystem partners such as 4Meme, PancakeSwap, Binance Wallet, and Trust Wallet will help distribute the funds to eligible traders. So absolutely crazy that BNB, and by the way, don't forget, when Binance crashed, it was not allowing people to swap or do anything. So their button stopped working, everything went offline. So they had a reason that they were going to have to do that. Not only that, Coinbase, their chain broke down as well, and the traders, Wintermute specifically, had to take their stuff off of, because they were going to sell on Coinbase too for a high liquidity pool, and they ended up having to move it to Binance. And what did that mean? That meant that the liquidity pools suddenly got very, very thin everywhere, which meant that volatility went through the roof, which is why you saw that cascade of downside momentum. Let's face it. Let's zoom out here and let's take just stock of a moment here. In the event that there was $2 billion that escaped this market, a market of almost 4 trillion market cap, that is a drop in the bucket. That is not what this was about. This was about starting the move. So, again, let's just say that Wintermute had a great run. They extracted $3 billion in liquidity. That's not a lot in this market. Okay. That is not even a day's trading. Okay. Today's trading, $360 billion. So, what are we saying here, right? That liquidity coming out, it was the shock of everything that was happening at that moment that was causing it, and that was the end of it. So, I think we're fine. Ultimately, I think the long story to that is, I think that ultimately we just had an effective dip. We got played by a market maker whose job it is to play us, and the end result was a dip that is getting bought back up. It's not bought back up, but it's getting bought back up, and it will go back into Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin will start ripping again. Fundamentally speaking, we're still in a great place. BNB doing their reimbursement. Also, Jerome Powell's speech highlights the crypto market's upbeat, Fed rate cuts, ending quantitative tightening, and a weak job market. So yesterday, Chairman Jerome Powell was the most awaited event on Tuesday. The highlight of the speech was that the Fed chair is leaning towards a more dovish stance, indicating higher chances of more rate cuts ahead amid the weak job market. Okay. So what he says that he will be taking meetings. The U.S. central bank's officials are split on rate cut decisions due to sticky inflation on one hand and the fast downslide on the other hand. No, the mic is right here. I moved it away. So it might not be as good. Like I might need to work on it a little bit. But yeah, you know what? Son of a bitch. Maybe I screwed everything up. Let's go see what we did here. Which mic am I even using? How about now? Is that better? I just forgot. I may have disconnected the microphone. Duh. Good job, Bleaves, because you're stupid. Whoops. Anyway, I think that might have improved it. If it didn't, then we'll deal with it afterwards. So can you hear me is really the question. Anyway, so the Powell also noted that the recent economic activity is stronger than expected. However, the same hasn't translated into the strength of the job market. You do have a bit of tension between labor market data. We will see very low levels of job creation, and yet people are spending. We're going to have to see how that plays out. Now, I mean, this is very, very interesting because what this guy is saying is that we have a weak job market, but people are still spending. Duh, dumb. That's called inflation and eating. What that means is that people are going broke trying to feed themselves and try to put gas in their car and stuff like that. And the fact that we have, as of right now, I don't like that. I want to go back to purple. The fact that we have that we are seeing the gas prices come down right now, that's the thing that we've been waiting for. That is the catalyst for change in this market, is that downward momentum that we could be seeing from the oil and gas industry. Yesterday, I saw gas near me for 267. If you got a car wash, it was 262 or something like that. I think over the next few days, we're going to see that continue to come down, and that's going to be great for the overall market. A huge dump in gas price is going to translate to a much improved inflation number, again signifying the desperate need for this market to, we need 50 basis point. By the way, I know that we're going to get 25 basis points, but I know also this market needs a 50 basis point cut. It needs a shock to the system right now. And by the way, that is an upward trend on inflation. That does mean that there is the potential there for borrowing to resume. If borrowing resumes, hiring will also resume. That's how the labor market works. All of these things are going to weigh out. And I do think that we're looking at that moment in time where this pivot that we're looking for has to happen right now. With the ongoing U.S. government shutdown, the official data remains suspended, but Powell stated that there was enough insight for the upcoming Fed meeting on October 28th and 29th. So, despite the fact that the government is still in shutdown mode, by the way, fifth longest shutdown of all time. Congratulations, Donald Trump. Donald Trump still setting records, just record-setting presidency. Record setting in prices, record setting in government shutdown. By the way, who gives a shit if the government shut down? We don't want the government involved in our business anyway. So doesn't really bother me. But Donald Trump, top 5, just setting records, just record setting. However, with the ongoing shutdown, Powell also indicated that the Federal Reserve's long-term running quantitative tightening program aimed at reducing the central bank's balance sheet may be nearing its conclusion. This is the biggest moment in crypto right here. We're talking about going from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing. That means that money is going to be pumped into the market. Now, if that is the case, and if that's what starts to happen, then guess what? Price go up and away. But you got people out here telling you that Bitcoin's in a bear market. You got people out here telling you that crypto, the bull market is over. You have dum-dums out here saying dumb shit to you, okay? Don't get caught in the mechanics of bullshit, okay? Remember, if money supply go up, risk asset go up. If quantitative easing is just around the corner, people start to hedge on that, and you're going to start seeing prices move in a positive direction. And then when it actually happens and we get another rate cut, you're going to see up and away as we price in the next one. By the way, the basis point of 25 points already priced in for October 28th, 29th. Okay, it's already priced in. Now, it will get even clearer as we get closer to the date. So we'll still see a little bit of a pump out of it. If we get a 50 basis point cut because the data looks such that we can actually do that, then you will see an incredible pop on cryptocurrency. But we actually have to see that happen because that would be a shock to the system. And that's what we're looking for. And, we know that they're going to be conservative about it. But if we get that one moment, where they just pop and say, you know what, we have to throw it out there. We have to go strong. We have to do something for this economy. If they feel the pressure and they respond to the pressure, then we're going to see an absolute crazy moment in time. Fed Governor Michelle Bowman believes that the central bank will implement 2 additional rate cuts. Her comments come as the markets anticipate another rate reduction at the October meeting, with a further cut also seen as likely in December. We're going to have 2 months to price that one in. That's not going to be that much. So following the price crash to 110, crypto market continues to stay upbeat. Bitcoin shows partial recovery over 112,000. Guys, we're talking about $112,000. I want you to just step back for a moment from the ledge and just consider what's happening right now. There's a lot of, guys, there's a lot happening in this market, and all of it is very, very good. Okay. Arthur Hayes, veteran trader Arthur Hayes, he's the founder of Bitwise, commented on the development, noting that quantitative tightening is behind us while advising investors buy everything. There you have it. Quantitative tightening is over. Back the fucking truck and buy everything. Okay. That's what, Look, the one of the more savvy investors in cryptocurrency is telling you it is about to get bonkers. So do you want to be sitting on the sidelines? No, you do not. Also, NASDAQ listed Weebus has adopted XRP in new tokenized reward platform and eyes a $20 billion loyalty market. Weebus International will integrate XRP settlement into its upcoming tokenized travel reward exchange. More adoption coming for XRP. Now, that's a big move right there. Not to be outdone, SWE is now targeting a $9.50 token valuation as Figure brings SEC-approved yield token YLDS to SWE. So the SEC's approved yield token YLDS is now on the SWE network, which means that SWE is primed for another pump. Now, the market does have to clear up some room. It's going to have to, Bitcoin's going to have to run. But if it starts running, then things are going to get real crazy here. Bitwise chief information officer calls the crypto crash a blip. Now, the guys who spend their day working to the highest level on cryptocurrency are telling you this is just a blip, okay? The dingbats on Twitter who are bearish, who want to pump their bag with a short or something like that, are telling you, it's over, again, everything again goes to zero. Who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the guys who made all the money or the guys who pretended to make all the money? This is just a blip in the radar, and the market bounces back with 330 million ETF inflows. That's just the start. It's going to continue. We're going to see a big move coming very, very soon. I guarantee it. XRP, Ripple strikes a deal with ABSA, another deal for Ripple, expanding custody footprint to Africa, meaning that XRP is now at ABSA Bank. It becomes Ripple's first major custody partner in Africa. It is now, XRP is legitimately reaching all continents now, and we're starting to see that mass adoption day by day. Deal by deal, we're seeing XRP mass adoption pick up steam. And what you're going to see from that is going to be a massive move at the end of this. Also, China is betting that it can win a trade war, and it's playing hardball with Trump. Now, this is from the Wall Street Journal, and it's saying something that Donald Trump doesn't like, so I guess we'll call it the failing Wall Street Journal today. But Chinese leader Xi Jinping thinks president will fold before launching new tariffs that would roil the market. Now, what he's saying is, and what they're indicating, by the way, because we're not subscribing to this fucking dirt sheet, but what he's saying is he's betting that this trade conflict can be drawn out long enough that the president is going to blink, because he's going to have to answer to the American people, and China doesn't have to answer to anybody. So they are going to play hardball with the United States. And in fact, they're going to be looking at tanking the U.S. stock market, which, by the way, let me also point out what just happened. Wintermute. What did Wintermute do? Wintermute prepared for this by dumping everything. Do you see how this is lining up? China is manipulating these markets. China is going to continue to manipulate these markets. All of their holdings in U.S. stocks, I would bet, are probably going to have a black swan day as well pretty soon. I think you're probably going to see something like that. So I would be watching for the next couple of days to see how that plays out. Also, just in case you were wondering about freedom and lack of censorship, the Justice Department is now going after Facebook and demanding that they take down pages that are used to harass ICE agents. By the way, harass ICE agents means tell people where the ICE agents are. Doesn't mean telling people to do anything to them or anything like that. Your freedom of speech is under attack by the president and his administration. Guys, remember freedom of speech? Remember when we were talking, remember when you guys were like, oh no, Donald Trump is all about freedom of speech because Donald Trump is the one that wants freedom of speech. Joe Biden is the guy that doesn't want anybody to be talking about freedom of the speeches. And it's Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump administration is now trying to censor information that it does not like on platforms that it does not agree with. And of course, because all of the billionaires are Republican, including and not limited to Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos. And Elon Musk is obviously radicalized. When you start going down the list, Larry Ellison, when you start going down the list, wait a minute. All the billionaires are on one side, and it's the side of the billionaire president that's giving tax breaks to billionaires. And you're sitting there going, yeah, this checks out. This seems like exactly the way that it's supposed to go. And all of the billionaires, they deserve to have the extra money. They're the ones that actually do all of the best stuff. It's happening. You're watching it happen, and you didn't understand when I told you it was going to happen, and you thought, no, this is about the chicks with the dicks. This is about the girls with the wieners. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them in sports. That's way more important than making sure that the billionaires continue to have billions and billions and billions of dollars. That's what you're doing right there in your brain. That's what's happening. Kind of crazy, isn't it? As a matter of fact, let me go point something out to you, because I happened to make a post about it just in the last little while. In 2012, Elon Musk was worth $2 billion. Today he's worth $486 billion. MAGA. Larry Ellison was worth $23 billion, now worth $370 billion. MAGA. Mark Zuckerberg, $1.5 billion, now $245 billion. Now, Mark Zuckerberg, despite the fact that you guys don't like him because he agreed to take down content for the Biden administration, was also taking down anything for the government. Why? Because Mark Zuckerberg is a billionaire, and he is actually a right-winger. And people didn't realize that, because they thought that he must be a leftist because he is not doing what we want him to do. Because he's not doing, if he doesn't comply, then we are going to attack him and burn down his capital. Or whatever it was that you said in your stupid brain. $245 billion complying with the U.S. government under the Trump administration. Jeff Bezos, massive campaign contributor to the Trump administration, $1.6 billion to $233 billion. Meanwhile, you and your fat ass, your minimum wage in 2009, $7.25 an hour. 20 years later, $7.25 an hour. And the Republicans are going, the problem is the immigrants. The problem is not the billionaires. The problem is the immigrants. They're the ones that are taking everything from us. They're the ones that are getting everything. Well, Jeff Bezos took $230 billion from you in the last 20 years. Mark Zuckerberg took $243 billion of your worth away from you over the last 20 years. Larry Ellison took $350 billion of your wealth away from you. And Elon took $485 billion worth of your wealth away from you over the last 20 years. But it's the immigrants. It's the ones, it's the people. It's the people, the brown ones. You know what I'm talking about. You know, not them. It's the other ones. The ones that they don't speak the English. They don't. If you can't speak English, why do you come to the country? You know, those people. Meanwhile, there's all your money now in the hands of 4 people. Congratulations, USA. You did it. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Kobayashi, let's move on here. The bull run is in full swing. The S&P has gone 98 trading sessions without a 5% decline, second longest streak since 2021. This is also marks one of the longest periods since 2018 of 403 trading days without a 5% drop. By comparison, the long-term average is 59 days. In 1928, the market saw an average of 3.4% declines, 5% of the year. In the same time, a 10% correction has occurred an average of 1.1 times per year. Momentum is incredibly strong right now on the S&P. We are in the middle of a bull market. The NASDAQ 100 futures extend their gains to over 1% as investors price out trade tensions between the U.S. and China. Now, we're about to ignore some of that. On Friday, we posted the below alert to the premium members. We are seeing higher lows forming in the 6,550 to 6,600 area before going back to 6,700, and that is on the S&P. And the S&P, guess what? Starting to pump again. So now, next big question: what are gold and silver really telling us? They're now up more than 4 times the S&P in 2025. Gold and silver are massively outperforming risky assets during bull run in those same risky assets. When safe havens are rallying with risky asset, it tells you one thing: confidence in fiat currency is eroding. All we have to do is have the time Just allow a little bit more time. And guess what? That money is going to start flowing into digital assets. By the way, gold and silver will be tokenized assets going forward. So a lot happening in these markets, and it's absolutely crazy to see it playing out. What about bull run indicators? Well, no bull run indicators are hit yet. Why would you sell? Are you stupid? Like, are you just like what are you, moron? Like, what kind of dummy sells when there's no bull market peak indicators? And if your answer is, well, it's traders, it's people who are trading every day. It's those people. Those are the ones that are doing it. Those are the ones. Okay, sure. But you shouldn't be, unless you're doing my proposal, which is buy when the fear and greed index is at 30, sell when it's at 70. If you're doing that, then you're winning. Okay. Good shot to you. Way to play the game the way the game's supposed to be played. So anyway, nothing hit so far. 37 on the fear and greed index was yesterday. Today, it's down to 34 as we continue to bleed out a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. Make sure you sign up for the channel, terracasino.io for your risk-based gaming needs, terraport.finance if you are looking for any kind of meme or utility coins in the ecosystem of Terra Luna Classic. Devi, don't know what's going on. I keep saying Devi, but I mean to say Dev. Now, God damn it. Just trying to... got to get used to it because I'm so used to saying Devi, but I'm just going to say Dev going forward. So Dev, I think that, again, I'm just kind of waiting and counting the days down until it goes. And speaking of Dev, let's do that. Let's pop this up here and let's do that giveaway. And there it is right there. All right. So the first person to answer this correctly is going to win. What does MIS stand for in the Devi ecosystem? Option 1, mathematically instant safety, most instant security, or mathematically instant settlement. The first person to type it in to the chat is going to win $50 in Dev tokens. So really, it's just a matter of who can type the fastest right now and type the correctest right now. Coin on one says 1. You only get 1. You're only going to get 1 guess here. All right, Coin on Crypto went with number 1. Roy G is going to be your winner. Roy G is going to be the winner. It's mathematically instantaneous settlement. All right, Roy G, go to @BelievesCrypto. On @BelievesCrypto, send me your wallet address, Ethereum ERC-20 wallet address, and we will get you $50 in Dev tokens sent to your wallet today. By the way, that $50 in Dev tokens, in the bull run, if it does that, it's going to be worth $5,000. It's going to be, look, I think I'm pretty sure it's going to go at least 100x. So it's almost like we just gave you $5,000 just for answering a question. Tomorrow, we're going to have another question for the Dev ecosystem. And there you go. All right. So again, it's @BelievesCrypto on X. Send it over to me and we will get you paid out today. Dev ecosystem where the pros are going to trade. All right. So COIA is up 137% in the top 500, in the top 100. XPL's up 24%. We're starting to see a little bit of a breakout, a little bit of a move. Good signs. Going through here, Boss 137. We're starting to see breakouts. Recall 2,400. We're seeing, guys, these are the type of moves that we're looking for in this market all the time. We're just hoping that we get one. We're just hoping that we get one like Dev. Like just let's get a runner in Dev. Let's get something that just absolutely breaks out. Let's make it be one of our big bags right there and just have one of those crazy, crazy, crazy runs. Now, let's look at some charts right here. The total market cap is down $34 billion on the day. Not looking great for the day overall. Link down 2.5%. Bitcoin only down 1%, starting to rally. I think, by the way, that Bitcoin is ready for that next leg. I think that that's what we're looking at right now. I think we're going to start to see that rally. Now, yesterday, Dow Jones ended up 202 points. Dow Jones today up 352 points as they are shrugging off the problems in the market right now, realizing that the U.S. economy is starting to work. Everybody's looking at those gas prices coming down. Everybody's making their bets right now that we are in a great place. Okay, so we should see some downward momentum in the market. Now let's look at the total market cap. Let's look at it by the hour, and let's see what it looks like right now. We saw that dagger come in on the 8 o'clock candle right there, but it's minting right here, higher lows. So is the recovery underway? I would tend to think that maybe, just maybe, we are now in recovery mode. Now, one thing, we're going to zoom out here and I'll point out that we were in this channel right here. When the winter mute happened, it took us right out, and then boom, we ran right back up into the channel. Then we broke down again yesterday to come out of the channel, and then it ran back up into the middle of this channel right here. This is on the 1 hour. Okay, so we're not using the 200 and the 50 for this one, for this purpose. But I'm pointing out that we're at the bottom of the range, so I suspect that we're about to see another rally. That rally is going to take us up here to about 3.92. So I think we're going to see a day here. As this day progresses, I think we might see over the next day or two about $200 million in capital inflows come into this market just rapidly. I think we're going to see this thing happen rapidly. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean that it's going to be today. Could be, could take a little while. Just laying it out there. But I think a rally is imminent. Bitcoin sitting at 112,000. Now, everything looks structurally a little bit weak when you're looking at it from these time frames. You're looking at, and by the way, you see that a little bit more when you start to zoom. When you start to zoom in and you start to get granular in your detail, then you start to find that, you know what, it's kind of shitty here. Like we're coming down. You start looking at it that way. Then you move out to the daily and you're like, oh shit. Like, I mean, this is exactly what happens all the time anyway. Like every time we do that, every time we have one of those black swan sort of sell-offs, then guess what? We end up just kind of sideways, and then boom, we go up so much higher. So what's going to happen now? We're going to end up going a little bit higher every time. So what do I think is going to happen here? I think this is going to be a lot more rapid than we're seeing right now. I think we're about to see an absolute breakout here. Once the Dow Jones has priced everything in, once we've got that, then rotation is going to come back around into risk-based assets. And by the way, 10-year treasury yield, if you look at the treasuries right now, it's down to 4.003. 4.01, I'm sorry. So it's down to 4.01 from that high that we had over here at 4.78. Like, can you imagine? Like, there's not even a reason to get into risk assets. For every $1 million, if you can get a bond, a treasury bond, giving you 4.7%, like, it would be crazy to even buy any kind of risk-based asset when you're getting a guaranteed yield. But as this is coming down, as it continues to come down, then more people are going to get into risk assets because they're going to have that appetite. They want that 5% gain. They want that 6% return. They want that much higher return, but they also want to limit their risk. And if Bitcoin provides them a limited exposure of risk, then guess what? You're going to continue to see the flight into Bitcoin. And then that means that the flight is going to continue into risk assets, because that's going to pump the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin price pumps. And then us as degens, we're going to sell our Bitcoin to buy altcoins. And then that's going to kick off altcoin season. Boom, that's when we get our major bull run that we're all really looking for. That's when we get our 10x. We wake up one morning and everything is just kind of ripping. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're waiting for. That's what we want to see happen. So I would be watching for this to happen very soon. What's going on with YouTube? I have no idea what's going on with YouTube. I have no idea what's going on. Is it down? Doesn't. Seems like it's working for right now. I don't know if something's going on. I don't know. Anyway, so Ethereum, all of our everything. If you want to go look at the prices and everything, that's going to be on the stream last night to tell you. For my entry position here for Ethereum, just to give you guys an example, what I'm saying is basically the same thing for all of these. I'm saying that I gave you an entry position right now, and I'm looking for it to go up above that entry position and then come back down into it. And then if it does that, that's going to be your entry position. But don't set an entry. Don't set a buy order on, like, for example, we're at 42. I think the buy orders. So the buy order is at like 42.50, let's call it, right? Don't set a buy order for 42.50. Don't set a buy order until you go above 42.50. Then let it come back down to 42.50. And then that's where you're going to get the bounce, and that's where you get the maximum gain off of it. Because right now you're kind of in between ranges, this being the floor, that 42.50 being the floor, and you just came off of this big dip here. So the natural progression would be a move down here before a test up here. Okay, so if you go up this way, you're going to bounce. And guess what? By the way, that thesis actually played out because it went up here and then it came down midline. Now the question is, will it rally? And if it goes up above like this, then it's going to have a test down here, set your long position, and then you're probably going to get up here into that 5,000 range, and then it's going to be time to short it. Maybe. I'm not even sure it's going to be time to short it at that point. That thesis was based on last week. Now we've had this black swan, which means that people are still kind of scared. So we'll see whether or not the brave are going to survive or not. BNB 1180. So we're seeing, so what's going on with BNB right now is they're giving a bunch of it away to try to help out. And there's a whole bunch of people who are trying to ban Binance right now. So that, to me, that's kind of silly, but that's what's happening. People are coming to it. There are a lot of donkeys out here that don't know shit about trading or crypto or any of this. And by the way, I'm not saying that I'm better than them. I'm a moron just like everybody else. But I'm also a moron who can track what's going on, or at least read what other people are tracking as to what's going on. But then you have these other people who, I don't care what the wallet saying, because I don't think that that's going to be the exact same thing that's happening. I think that Binance is behind everything. I think that Binance is the team that's behind everything. I think that they, as a matter of fact, it is very possible that Binance shot Kennedy. And they committed 9/11. You know, dum-dums. The goddamn dum-dums that we try to avoid, they're trying to get Binance canceled right now. So, unbelievable. Solana looks pretty strong right now, by the way. Let's kind of zoom out here. Bitcoin is down 1.1% today. Ethereum's down 1.5%. Binance down 2.5%. Link's down 3%. Solana kind of dead even on the day, down only 0.2%. Same thing with XRP, 0.2%, which means what? What is that? Well, remember the ETFs are about to be approved. We have 24 hours before the first Solana or the first XRP ETF might be approved. So you could be looking at that happening. Yeah, we've done that for a couple of days, but actually a lot of us made a good amount of money off of it. Actually, we made it on the way up, then we made it on the way back down, then we made it on the way back up again. So now we're just waiting to see what that next move looks like and what our entry position is going to be. All right, now OM's up 2.5% on the day, by the way. Tau coming down a little bit from that pop, that all-time high. But by the way, in the meantime, I got another 0.3 in rewards from last night. Or I think it was 3.2. Yeah, we were at 3.2 yesterday. So we're now at 3.57. So we've earned quite a bit more Tau overnight. That's a pretty good run. Nice. That was 150 bucks, I think, for that video. You know what I mean? Just for that last payout, by the way. And it's still running right now. I got to do another content for them in a couple of days. But you know, I want to accumulate as much Tau as I can possibly accumulate. You know what I mean? Like I want to get that 3. That's 3 in, was that 2 months, maybe? So we've accumulated 3.5 in the course of 2 months. And I haven't really done much in building that network up, by the way. If you guys see any BitTensor content on my channel, please engage with that content. Certainly helps me out. By the way, it allows you to learn that BitTensor, in case you didn't know, by market cap and by every metric, BitTensor is now the #1 AI crypto. These are, what are they called here? Oh, AI right there. Look at this. BitTensor is now the #1 AI-related crypto in all of cryptodom. Near protocol #2. Remember, we're holding BitTensor, we're holding Near, we're holding Dev. Like these are the ones. ICP is at 48. Story is at 50. Render is at 61. Filecoin 68. Injective at 75. Fetch is at 76. We're blowing past Fetch AI at 4.4 billion market cap right now. Guys, when AI takes over, and of course, obviously, AI is going to take over, the number one crypto by market cap is probably going to blow up. And by the way, look at the chart over here. You've had the Origin Trail over here having a nice little run, and you've had BitTensor having a nice little run. You've had the BAT token having a nice little run over the last week. I mean, look at the gains. You've had 31% on BitTensor. You've had 53% on Origin Trail. You've had 32% on Basic Attention, 370% on Chain Opera. That's the COAI, by the way. 3.9 billion market cap, 370 this week. So boom, 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 boom. All right. So what I mean by all of this is it's very simple. BitTensor right now is the AI crypto for the future as of right now. With that being the case, when the market really starts to buzz and really starts to pump, guess what? It's going to really start to buzz and really start to pump. And 50 billion market cap could be in the cards. 50 billion market cap means it's about an 11x away from where it is right now, 11x from where we are right now at 3.57. That means that we have about four BitTensor, so roughly $1,600 right now. I'll take a 10x. I'll take a 10x on $1,600. You know what I mean? So maybe, fingers crossed, we get a nice little rip. Binance exclusive. I don't know what this is, but we're going to check this thing out. And we can't even read most of that, so we don't give a shit what that is. Never mind. We'll worry about that later. All right. So volume, 24-hour DEX volume. Where are we looking? Solana is breaking out at number 1, Ethereum at number 2, BNB at number 3. Look at the trade volume that's happening right here. 6 billion, that's 12 billion. 5 billion makes it 17 billion. 2.5 billion makes it 19.5. Arbitrum at 1.5 makes it 21 billion. SWE makes it 22 billion. Hyperliquid makes it 23 billion. There is a lot of trade volume happening on decentralized exchanges right now. The DEX volume is to the moon. So, guys, it's time to get really excited about what's going on here. Now, in terms of what's moving for the day, we've got Dev having a little bit of a moment here, up 7%. Again, it's got to break above, I think, let me give you a number here on Dev. Dev needs to break above 56 cents to inspire any confidence. Okay, we need that. We're going to need that break above right here. We need that break to 56, and we need to break above. Then we need that break into 70. And, eventually maybe we get to that $1.50. Again, none of this is going to happen until we start getting some real stuff, some real solid announcements and stuff from Dev, until we start getting like real reasons for people to come in. Their marketing, by the way, I got, for full disclosure, I got unbanned from CoinMarketCap. And you guys might be wondering, like, Believe's got banned from CoinMarketCap. Yeah, turns out that I got banned from CoinMarketCap. In fact, let me show you exactly what they said. There we go. All right. Our moderation team has identified the reason for the ban status is due to a spammed post containing a scam link that says Donald Trump is making waves in the crypto world with an exclusive $150 million airdrop. I wouldn't do that. What the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? So that's what happened, and that's why I got banned. Is Gate Exchange the best for Dev? I mean, the best for Dev is Uniswap. As far as liquidity goes, the best is Uniswap, followed by MEXC, and then Gate, and then LA token. Now, also don't forget here, I want to be very, very clear about Dev. Dev is not interested in listing on these exchanges. They're not interested in paying to be listed on these exchanges. They have no interest in that. Their interest is basically in getting themselves on their own blockchain, and then creating themselves a nice run of volume. And then from there, with the announcement, everybody makes it inevitable. And then all of the exchanges like Binance and Coinbase and crypto.com, they're going to have to buy in themselves, and they're going to have to buy in, and then they're going to have to list the token themselves. The dev team is not going to do it if they want that trade volume. That's the idea behind it. So they're playing hardball with these exchanges. They're not interested in it. Now, the other thing is, you might notice that no real US markets are doing it. So you have to use a DEX unless you're overseas or using a VPN. So MEXC and Gate currently not active in the United States, I don't think, unless something has changed fundamentally. I haven't seen an announcement from MEXC. When MEXC's they've reached out to me multiple times to ask me about partnering, and I just shit on every single person that contacts me like, you bitch ass, like you stole from me, like you fucking, no, you scumbags ripped me off. You want to fix it, make it right, give me my fucking money, and then do whatever you got to do. But just so you guys understand, at one point, I had something like 490 people that were subscribed and or trading under me. And then when MEXC decided that they were leaving the United States a couple years ago, they moved all of those to house and started keeping the money for themselves and stopped paying me. So fuck those guys. That's thievery. Okay. No matter how you look at it, that's fucking thievery. So when they reach out to me, I point out how much money they stole from me, and they don't really have a response after that. All right. So Dow Jones is now up 300 points on the day. Crypto is now down 68 billion on the day. They are trying so hard to they're trying. Look, it's very hard to dump the market. Okay. It's very hard to dump the market unless you have the assets to do it. So we're going to watch and see what happens right here. We're bouncing off of this range right here. I would suspect that we're going to see a nice little rip. Again, I think today we're going to steal, God damn it. We're going to see a nice little relief rally at some point a little bit later on. Now, that's going to be based on the Dow Jones continuing to pump. MEXC is the one that stole from me. Basically, what I said was MEXC had me sign up, and I signed up like almost 500 people. And then they decided they were leaving the United States. And I understand why they're leaving the United States, but they stopped paying me too. They housed all my all the people that were trading under me, all the thousands of dollars. By the way, don't forget, I was telling you guys before, like I was making $1,000 a day off of MEXC at one point. There were days when I would only make like $100 or $50 or something like that. I mean, I'm not saying that every day was $1,000, but I had $120 million in trade volume one month, and they cut my rate from 4% down to 1%. So on that month, when I had all of that trade volume, they actually paid me $4,700 when they should have paid me. Every other exchange would have paid me at least $16,000. Just let that sink in. Every other exchange would have paid me ridiculous sums of money for having that kind of trade volume, and they screwed me over and dropped my rates. Fuck those guys. Fucking scammers. And they don't care about you. That's the important part. MEXC does not give a shit about you. They don't care about anything that you do for them. You are just a tool for them to suck liquidity out of. You know what I mean? There are hundreds of videos of illegals attacking ICE. Huh. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any at all. That's crazy. Why would illegals attack ICE? Aren't they going to go and get arrested, and then they're going to get kicked out of the country? Huh. That's crazy. That's insane. I can't believe that's happening. I think you're thinking of furries. I think you're thinking of all those dancing furries. You're thinking of all those dancing furries in Portland that are dancing around, you know, stealing ICE and whatever they're doing. Poor guys. I know. It's not about the illegals. It's not about giving Elon Musk $480 billion. It's the problems with America is based on, it's based on the brown people who are here, who are just not supposed to be here. that are doing it. You know what I mean? You know, that's exactly right. And I don't care if the president married a Russian lady with an Adam's apple. I think that doesn't matter. I think we should just be tolerant of that. And I think that we should just kick anybody who I don't like out of the country. Oh, God. Oh, God. I think everybody is. Everybody's sick of politics, but you can't do anything about it because that's what gets engagement at this point. I mean, you know, and by the way, just so you guys understand, I can't even describe how many people that I have muted. Security, privacy and safety, mute and block. Here we go. Muted accounts. Here we go. This radical bitch right here is out of control. She's a liberal, crazy liberal lady. And we blocked that Link OX person. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, I can't stand that bitch. Cairo won't miss. We got Mark Ennis from Louisville. Jason Whitlock, Christian. Oh, that's enough for me. I don't think so. Going down here, you'll find Justine Bateman. What the fuck am I listening to her for? Ryback, Rasmer. I don't. First of all, I don't follow lesbians, so Rasmer, you know. Caroline Levitt, Carter Hughes, Anna Paulina Luna, InfoWars, Molly Hemingway from The Federalist, John Rocker. I don't even know who this person is, but apparently I blocked her. Ted Nugent, Stephen Miller, all 4'3" of him. You know what I mean? Woo! Baggy Slim, we actually gave away $50 in Devi this morning. So, yeah, if you come in tomorrow on time early, if you come in early, we're doing giveaways of $50 in Dev tokens every day. So Baggy Slim, if you want to come back tomorrow, we're going to do a $50 giveaway. We're going to have a question. These are questions that are asked by Dev. So I'm getting the questions from Dev. And then we'll do a giveaway for $50. We had Roy G was the winner for today. Anyway, so I block the shit out of people or mute the shit out of people because I don't want to hear them. And I have this thread right here called following. So I've got this Hussein right here. It says degenerate tweets are not financial advice. And then I look at it and I'm like, what is this guy doing? FUD actually good, being CTO by some old guys. Okay. This guy, degen. What are we going to do here? Mute. Now we're going to come back over here. Anthony Hawkins right here. Is there any value in what we're doing right there? And if I don't see any value in it when I look at it, then I just come over here and hit the mute button, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this right here to where I'm actually getting just news. And then I'm going to go to For You if I want to see anything else. And I don't want to see anything else. All I want is some goddamn news. You know what I mean? Wolf Financial right here. Okay, I'll take that one. Chris P. King Reply Guy. Mute. Travlad. I fight about Travlad all the time. You know what I mean? I don't. I argue that one all the time. Christopher Inks from Texas West Capital. Keep that one up. Crypto Confident, we keep that one up. Anyway, I go down the list here, and sometimes I just mute people because I don't want to listen to them. Like this Fox College Football. Fuck that. Oh, never mind. It's an ad. This is a Bitcoin Maxi. You still get good information from them. Mika, I don't know what is going on right now. Mika is, guys, Mika's gone full degen. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. So anyway, so I just block people that I don't want to listen to anymore, especially politically. Like when I see politics invade, I just like start to mute. And luckily, for the most part, I can just like move on and move on and move on. So You know, I don't care. But the truth is still the truth. So your gas prices are lower. The administration is using the National Guard on the streets. Other National Guards from other states are trying to invade states with the help of the president. By the way, crime is heavier in areas that are not being attacked than areas that are being attacked, because it's not about the crime. It's never been about the crime. It's about the appearance. You're being manipulated. You're being manipulated by a 3'9" Stephen Miller, and you're falling for it because he says the things that you like. They took our jobs and shit like that, which is wild that you consider that to be important. Meanwhile, did I say meanwhile? Did I say meanwhile? Because I said meanwhile. I felt like I was saying meanwhile. What was the meanwhile that I was saying? Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, Elon Musk was worth $2 billion and is now worth $486 billion. Larry Ellison was worth $23 billion and is now worth $370 billion. Mark Zuckerberg, $1.5 billion, now $245 billion. By the way, Mark Zuckerberg is now censoring people who are putting ICE messages that they don't like. So you're being censored by the U.S. government. Jeff Bezos was worth $1.6 billion. It's now $233 billion. Meanwhile, your minimum wage is still the same minimum wage. So you are fighting the wrong battle, idiot. You're fighting the wrong battle. The battle that you should be fighting is for your fairness and not for their fairness. Like, what are you? Elon Muskie with that extra chromosome? You can do real math real good. And you talk like this. Jesus Christ, get your shit together. Anyway, you guys have a good day. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. We'll be back tonight for some trading. And you guys have a good
They call me please, I'll do